field work is not without its risks. When you're out in the night, in the dark, in a forest, there are scorpions all over the place. You might be hiking for 10+ miles a day. And then you might have days where you don't see a single animal that you are looking for. Then all of a sudden you find a chameleon, and you don't care about any of that.
The most important thing is to realize that whoever they are, wherever they live, their lives make a difference.
In the wildest corners of our Earth, women are still making a difference. Their courage is saving species and welcoming a new era of coexistence. But what ignites this passion? My guess is it's simply in her nature.
Madagascar dia manana karazana tanalahy miisa 98 izay tsy hita raha tsy eto Madagasikara ihany. Izay fantatra fa eto Madagasikara koa chameleon ngeza indrindra eran-tany ny kaloma parsonie. Dia misy koa eto Madagasikara ny chameleon izay kely indrindra, Gougezia nana. Dia ny anankiray manana système na camouflage, afaka miova araky ny toerana hipetrahany ny lokony. Izay zavatra izay dia miaro azy raha sendra misy loza, sendra misy prédateur tampoka ohatra hisambotra azy. Afaka mihetsika ary mihodina manaraka ny angle mety mahatratra eo amin'ny 340 degré eo. Nahazo ilay ala ka mety hoe afaka hiena kokoa ve na ovaina kokoa ny fomban'ny olona manodidina eo amin'ilay izy. Tamin'ny voalohany aloha somary hafahafa ny fandraisan'ny ray aman-dreniko manokana na ny fianakaviana. Indrindra moa le zavatra atao hoe tanalahy. Moa koa efa nisy tantara mihitsy hoe tamin'ny voalohany ray aman-dreniko tianao dokotera mpitsabo. Dia misy faritra tena taboo mihitsy na fady ny mandray na mikasika ny tanalahy fa satria hoe milaza loza. Dia moa koa tena passion mihitsy le izy ho anahy. Lehibe ny resaka fahasimban'ny habitat amin'ny tanalahy rehetra. Fa fanampin'izay koa ny resaka pet trade. Anisan'ny tanjon'ny fikarohana izay ataoko ihany koa ny mampifandray ny fiarovana ny tontolo iainana amin'ny fampiasana an'ireo vokatry ny fikarohana araky ny genetika sy ny genomika eo amin'ny tanalahy. Zany hoe araky le lazaiko teo rehefa miomana tsara mandeha terrain dia tsy manino. Dia amin'ny lafiny anankiray nefa tsy tafiditra ao anatin'ireo faritra arovana izay hoe raha ohatra ka miala tanteraka teo ireo toeram-ponenan'ireo tanalahy ireo. Dia maka santionany kely dia avotsitra avy eo ilay biby. Le maka an'le rambony kely iny a satria am'le hodiny kely ihany fa tsy manapaka taolany. Ny stérile, alcool stérile le izy a, dia averina tanteraka any amin'ny toeram-ponenany. Misy hafaliana be ho anahy satria hitady an'iny ny alehako any anaty ala ny valorisation an'ny recherche ho an'ny fiarovana ny tontolo iainana eto Madagascar. Tamin'ny 2022 nandeha nanao fikarohana tamina toerana anankiray dia nisy herpetologiste vehivavy anankiray niresahako izy, Dr. Sararuan.
What do you think I did with my badge? Oh, it's in my pocket, thank God. You know, because I lost my badge last week. Hey, Anne. I'm Dr. Sarah Ruan, and I am the Associate Curator of Reptiles and Amphibians here at the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois. I spent a lot of time when I was a kid out and about trying to catch reptiles and amphibians, anything I could put in a jar.
This is the first works with the next-gen sequencing, combining the ecology and the phylogeny of chameleons. So it's the first study on this type.
That's what I thought. I figured you're the first person from Madagascar to do this. So this is going to take the world by storm. The herpetology world.
It's going to be big news for the chameleons.
It's really important to assess the diversity. You need to know what's there to do anything about it. These are all my field notes. So February 2022, Voangi and Fandresena. We saw some leaf-tailed geckos just biting. Pretty cute. A couple of chameleons. Oh, I see them. Jeez. I just can't believe you could spot that. That is amazing. Fandresena's ability to see chameleons where other people see none is a true superpower.
Oh my gosh.
I love more than anything going out to the field. Here we are leaving Antananarivo, heading up to the field site. All right, well, here we go. We're gonna rock and roll.
I don't have any words in my mind now.
You're looking for a very particular animal. Chameleon, snake. There's a lot of pressure. Look at his little ears. These animals can be extremely elusive. You need to find it because there's no DNA samples for it. Sometimes they seem impossible to find.
Ny tiavako manokana miara-miasa amin'ny Sara Roanina zany a, fa tsy hoe manolotra fotsiny hoe ty atao.
Here I am, covered in snake as per usual.
Tsy mibaiko zany, dia fa manampy be da be amin'ny fikarohany zay zavatra izay.
I feel like in describing a chameleon, it sounds like such a, Dr. Seuss sort of animal. Chameleon might be sitting on a branch and it sees a grasshopper 2 feet away. It shoots that tongue out and bam, and pulls it back in, crunches it up and swallows it. There's no other lizards like them. If we care at all about conservation, knowing what animals exist and what species exist in certain places is actually sort of the baseline information that you need. Do you want to see me do this again for the camera? Now that I did it. In order to best get a representation of a whole animal, the more genes you include, usually the better. You can even get the entire DNA sequence called the whole genome. Looking at the ecology as well as the population genetics of the chameleons, By taking DNA samples, sequencing different genes, and then running some analyses, you can see, are genes moving from population A to B? Are we accurately describing the diversity? Do we have 1 species? Do we have 2 species? Do we have 5 species? Just because these animals look similar doesn't mean they're the same. Knowing that we need to especially conserve population A because it's a micro-endemic might be really key for conservation strategies as well.
Female.
Lady snake.
Lady.
Lady snake for the ladies.
Snake lady. Boa lady.
One of the things that I am really proud of with respect to working with Fandresena is the fact that this work is going to have some effect on conservation in Madagascar, as far as giving better information, more detailed information, both on its biodiversity and what's important for maintaining that biodiversity.
Tamin'ny fikarohana nataoko aloha teny amin'ny toerana teny amin'ny sehatra niaraka tamin'ireo vondron'olona ifotony satria misy amin'ny ala izay dia nampianatra nanentana hoe ny tanalahy dia tena isan'ny biby ilaina amin'ny fiainana eo amin'ny ekosistema. Dia nanentana ny olona sady nampianatra ny olona manodidina. Resahako voalohany aloha ny hoavin'ny tanalahy na ataoko hoe ny biby rehetra eto Madagasikara amin'ny ankapobeny.
And then he slipped at one point, but he got back up again.
You are so precious.